Welcome back, everybody. The United States surpassing 18 million coronavirus cases, and our next guest is on the front line of the battle against this pandemic. Right now, we welcome our friend, Dr. Jean Ferrugia. He's the president and CEO of the Mayo Clinic. And Jean, it's really great to see you today. I know that this is something that you guys have been battling for a long time, but where do things stand now that we have this vaccine that's actually rolling out? How have you been able to deal with that and kind of get it out to the frontline workers at the Mayo Clinic?
Good morning, Becky. Thanks for having me back on. Having the vaccine is an immense victory for healthcare. We see all our healthcare workers are very eager to the vaccine. It's rolling out. It's rolling out relatively well, considering how difficult the logistics are. We've been giving it across all the states that we work in, and so far it's been going relatively well. We have a couple of allocation issues in Minnesota that we're dealing with at the moment. Overall going well, and I think that's the same across the United States.
What are the allocation issues that you've been dealing with?
Oh, we are ready to give vaccines to all our frontline workers. We have to get access to the vaccine. How those get distributed is something that changes from day to day, and we're working with the governor to sort that out.
Yeah, it's obviously still early days, but what percentage of your workers have gotten vaccinated? And when you talk to your workers, what percentage of them want to get a vaccination?
So starting with the latter, vaccine hesitancy has gotten a lot of play, as it should. What we're finding is that the more the vaccine becomes available, the more eager healthcare workers are to get it. We have an online poll that we just keep live all the time. Initially, it already started off with 85% of healthcare workers at Mayo Clinic saying they very much want to get it or they want to get it. That percent continues to get even better. So there is certainly more demand for the vaccine at the moment than there is vaccine. So vaccine hesitancy is not an issue at the moment. Of course, we need to continue to remain very transparent about the vaccine, what it does, what to expect. And that transparency, I think, will help us make sure that vaccine hesitancy continues to go away. It is essential that people get educated and then they get vaccinated. It's the only way we're going to get out of this pandemic.
Dr. Ferrugia, I would anticipate that healthcare workers would probably have a higher percentage who'd be willing and ready to sign up to take this vaccination. What do you hear from the communities that you operate in? What kind of patient demand do you think there'll be?
So you're right, though, of course, healthcare workers tend to read a lot, and therefore they also are very informed and come up with very good questions. But yes, they tend to also be more willing to take it. We've been working very closely with our communities. We did that for COVID testing. We're doing it again, certainly with Native Americans in Arizona and in Minnesota, with the Black and Hispanic communities, but also with Faith, which is a program about 150 Black churches in Minnesota, making sure that we're not feeding information, but rather we're there to answer questions, provide the right answers, making sure people know what's fact and what's myth. And I must say, some of the myths that have come up, for example, that the vaccine can alter fertility, are astounding, but they're there and we have to deal with them. And our job as Mayo Clinic, as a trusted voice in healthcare, is to be direct, to be transparent, and to always say exactly what's going on.
What's the response that you get in those communities when you take that approach?
It is remarkably positive. I do think that, yes, vaccine hesitancy will remain, but I do feel that we are going in the right direction, and we will continue to go in the right direction as long as we can continue to message the two things that are really important to know: how effective this vaccine is. We used to have a gold standard, and still do, which is measles vaccine, 98% effective. To have a vaccine that is 95% effective, as the two vaccines we currently have are, is a medical marvel. And it truly shows what innovation can do in the healthcare space when partners come together to solve an issue, especially when they take advantage of the technologies that NIH and other institutions have been funding for years that allowed this innovation to flourish.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.